G'day guys, welcome back to the channel again and part two of the Breville dial reconstruction, painting, redoing, whatever you want to call it. We're not doing too bad so far. We've got a blank piece of glass, so that's good. We're ready to put some paint on it and see if this etching works with the glass. We're looking away of yes, we'll flood it with paint on that area. Unfortunately, we've got three different colours here, so we can't do the whole thing. But we're looking at it and wiping it off with a squeegee, maybe something like a wiper blade of a car, rubber type thing. It's fairly soft rubber, but still would skim over the top and wipe off the excess. I was thinking a razor blade may do the same thing. We don't know. This is a total experiment. But anyway, have I got something to put behind this? I don't think I have. But anyway, we're coming back to it in a second. I'm just watching where I am on the monitor over there. But there it is. And you can see all the etchings in there. You'll see a lot more in a minute when I start painting it. There's the Breville radio. You can see stations on that. This, providing this works, this dial should look $1,000,000 when this radio's finished. This is a whole new thing for me. I've never seen an etched dial before. Okay, enough jaw jacking. We'll get on with it now. Right, guys. Well, here we go. Now, unfortunately, you might see me do some of the bigger stuff on the outside, but I've got to work with this under my Maggie lamp and I can't get the camera in there at the same time. So what we're using, acrylic paint. It's nothing special. It's just acrylic paint, artist paint. This one looks a little bit darker red, but actually it's not. It's a bright red. It's the same as what we had on there. Masking tape. Now, I've got to do the red circle. I'm starting from the inside, working my way out, and the edge of it just comes out towards the next ring, which is a white ring. I don't want anything past that little area, so I'm just going to mask off where the first circle starts, because the red will come along the kilocycle etching up this way and it stops. So I'll probably bring a picture in here for you. There you go. You can see that's the best we could do with a scanning job, actually, but it gives us an idea of where the red is going to go. So I'm using a Q-tip. I'm just going to gradually put it over this. Now, how we wipe this off, I'm not real certain yet. We're just going to do a little bit. I'm very keen to use a razor blade here after this is done, because it'll glide across the surface and remove any paint that's on the surface after it dries. Okay, it's all been cleaned with acetone and there is no dust. This is unfortunately, you can't see much here with this paper, which is a shopping bag, but it under the Maggie lamp, I can see the etching the best with that colour background. Unfortunately, the camera sort of you sort of can't see what I'm looking at there. Maybe you can. There you go. But yeah, a little bit hard. And as I said, I can't get the camera in there with me looking under there as well. and this has got to be done fairly precise. So I'm going to do a little bit, show you what I've done, and then scrape it up with a razor blade if that works. Okay, if it doesn't work, well, we start again, try something else. Okay, I'll be back in a sec, hopefully with good news or really bad news. Okay, no, we're not started yet. we, we're masking off the area around the circle. There's little indents around, which is part of the next circle around on the inside of it, pointing towards our frequency markings, the actual kilocycle markings. I don't want any paint going in those little fellas, so I've masked them off. Now you may be able to see. Let's see. Can I show you? You may. Where's the clearest one? You probably can't see them. No. Um, no, they don't come up in the camera, but there is little indents right beside the frequency markings on the second circle, not the kilocycle circle. So you might be able to see that one just above the last zero on the 1200. There's a little spike there. If I can get the light correct. There. You can just see that. So they're all around it. There's the next one just above. Oh, why can't I get a focus on that? Just above the center zero of the 900. Okay, so I've masked them off and so forth. It goes around. There you go. There's one there just above the center zero of the 900. So I don't want any red paint going into those because they were the yellow or cream or whatever it was. Now, the other thing we're going to do there is the kilocycle. So I don't have to mask anything there. It was in red. Righto, I'll be back. We're going to give it a go and see how this goes. I'm going to start with the kilocycles, let it dry, see does this technique work. If not, I'll try something else here. But yeah, that's where we're starting, along here. Righto, guys, it's the next morning and our paint is dry. Don't want to touch it too much. Got a razor blade. Is this going to work? Well, this is our first attempt. Let's gently, ever so gently, cut this back. And looks like some of it's working. But we may need to do this again, which is okay. But yeah, the S is not good. It could have been an air bubble, something like that. Yeah, not working 100% on what I thought. Maybe the paint's too thick. There we go. Well, the idea worked, but not a good coverage. Not a good coverage at all. A little bit blotchy. So I can re-go over this. I can redo this. As you can see, there's just, have I got something to put on the back of this? Oh, there's a lid here. Okay. As you can see, a little bit blotchy. But the idea, well, it works, but we need a little bit better paint in there. Probably has to be pushed in better. This paint, it sort of sat on top, and it didn't appear to be, liquid enough. The viscosity was a little bit heavy-handed. It just didn't flow like it should have into there. I'm thinking we'll put this paint on now, and we might try and remove this with a razor blade almost straight away while it's wet. We'll try the wet technique first. We'll don't want to do too many of those. And this way we'll see if is it pushing into the glass. Okay, that's all done, guys. This afternoon, it's morning here at the moment. This afternoon, I'm fixing my squeaky chair. I've noticed that it comes up pretty badly on these videos. That and those budgies outside. Boy, if I leave the workshop door open, you guys can hear me budgies. Now, there's only 15 of them there. I used to have close to 100. But the 15 of them make a shocking noise. And yeah, one day they'll all disappear. Anyway, let's try this. Okay, so here's our attempt with the wet paint. And that's a lot worse. um, yeah, that pulled out nearly, nearly everything that was in there. And it just wipes out. Okay, that's not going to work, guys. All right, I'll clean it and we'll start again. Okay, next try. All been cleaned up with acetone. Now, the paint this time, I've thinned out a little bit. I think the paint might have been a little bit thick to start with. So just, yeah, we'll try this and see if it works. Now I'll get myself into position here. There we go. And we'll put this on fairly liberally. Maybe the paint was a little bit thick. And I'm sure there'll be lots of you guys out there knows what I'm doing wrong here. I'm not much of a painter, as you've noticed. And we'll do this, then we'll let this one dry and use the same technique again, which was a little bit successful. If this doesn't work, we'll change our tactic. Maybe it's the wrong paint. I'm sure I'll read it in the comments. All right, we'll try that, let it dry, and see how that one comes off. See if it went in a little bit better, but I still think it has to be a little bit more liquidy, just runs better into the channels. But anyway, all this is experimental. We'll try that and see how it goes. I'll be back tomorrow. Righto, we'll have another look at this. Now, it's been a couple of days since we painted that. And this time I'm using a scalpel to go across in case the razor blade wasn't quite sharp enough or something like that. I don't really know. The paint almost seems uneven as well. The acrylic paint it doesn't seem to be working as it should. Okay, um, we'll skim across this and see how we go. Just see if this idea is going to work. We're all holding our breath at the moment. The paint is very rubbery, it's very flexible, hence it won't cut on top of the lettering. It's tending to want to pull the paint out of the lettering. Yeah, this is just go across it like that. Yeah, the it's still, the paint is still flexible, sort of. It hasn't gone hard. So this idea, kiddos, is not going to work. Not real successful. Okay. So that's not what we want. Bit hard to see the colour and everything on there too with glass with the camera. But no, that's not going to work. This idea of painting it on and then scraping it off, I don't think is the answer. I think the answer will be to paint it on and squidgy it off. Okay, well, I'll take this lot back out and we'll start again. Well, guys, the last two attempts haven't been real crash on so far. So this one, I've just put it on. I thought the camera was on, but yeah, it wasn't. It was on pause. Nail polish. Now, this is not quite the right colour. I want bright red, but I'm trying this to see if it works. Seems to flow a lot more easily than the others. Now, there's two ideas here. Wipe it off clean while it's still, well, wet, or leave it and I'll take it off with a razor blade or something like that. Probably a razor blade or a scalpel. Scalpel might be a little bit sharper, but we'll see how that goes. And as I said, this is an old nail polish. Um, it's nail lacquer. Now I guess it's all lacquer. This is only an experiment. There's got to be something that works because we've got to get this dial going and get this Breville radio finished. I'm really looking forward to getting this done. Before I did it, wiped down the whole lot with isopropyl alcohol to make sure it was all nice and ready for the paint. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. It's a lot more. What would you say? Flow viscosity than what I've been using. It just flows into the grooves quite easily. So, yeah, I'll let this dry. And, well, this is attempt number, what are we up to? 4, 5? Anyway, we'll just keep doing it until we nail it. Got to be done. Righto. Well, he's trying to get the light on him there so you can see him. Let's see what happens. It has dried off a bit. So we'll just see what happens here. We may have the answer to this. Well, not really the answer, but we may have a way of doing it. What do you guys think? I'm open for suggestions on this one, I'll tell you. Looks like it's a little bit lighter there on that eye, but it might be just the way I'm looking at it too. I'm looking at it sideways. Okay. How do we look? It's not looking too bad. Let's have a look at the other side and see what it looks like. And I better put something else behind it for you. How are we looking? Not bad. That's not too bad at all. There's a little bit missing out of the S, just at the end of the S. And the rest of it's not too bad. Oh, gee, if I can get the rest of it done like that, I'll be very happy. Now, we've also just got to wipe over just in the background there. There's a little bit of red left. I don't quite know how we're going to do that. Do we just rub him a little bit like this to take him off? Maybe. But he's not coming off real well there. We need... I think the scalpel may be a little bit better idea than the razor blade. You can see, yeah, it's just not quite right. But I'd say if I go over this again with the same paint and just put another layer on that, I reckon that'll cut away nicely. But then we've got to work out how to get rid of the tiny bits of excess, just a little line just along the top of the kilocycles there. Righto, we'll leave it, guys. I'll do another layer on this. We'll take it off and we'll try the scalpel versus the razor blade, try and work it out. But I think nail polish will do the trick. Well, guys, I'm back with the Breville. And this is an ongoing saga, this one is. But anyway, I thought I'd give you an update on the dial. We've had a slight amount of success. Now, I've only done one word. Excuse the background, it's just a circuit. But there it is. Now, that's come up pretty damn nice. It is real nice. The red, I have to go right around on the inside circle, and then yellow on the next layer, and then white on the outside one. You've seen pictures of it anyway. But guess what worked there? Well, I'll show you. Yep, nail polish. Works like a dream. Nice and easy to get into the glass. I leave it for about a day, which I didn't record because I didn't think it was going to work. Scraped it off with a razor blade, and boy, that worked unreal. There's my yellow that I'll be using. I don't know much about nail polish. I don't really use it myself, but my wife says, Kimmy says that this is the go. So if Mrs. Baz gives me the go ahead, that's what I'll do. And there's the red I'm using. It's something I already had in the workshop to oh, cut off, like to paint off IF transformers and trimmers and all things like this. I put a dab of this on it. This, fantastic. And that's what we're using. It works like a dream. So there's the back. Not that you can see much bloody lights of, yeah, in the road, but it settles nicely. There's a little bit on the S there I've still got to just trim off. I was that excited. I thought, well, I got to show you this because this has been an ongoing thing, and sometimes I lose the will to live rather than going back to it. So yeah, it won't focus on that. Give me my finger and it will. There we go. That's pretty good. That's very acceptable for me. Righto, guys, I'll keep going with this. I'm not going to record the whole thing. It's no use in you watching me dabble with paint here. I may show you the scrape off process, but this is going to work. Our Breville dial will relive again. I've got high hopes for this. Okay, guys, until the next update on this, I'll say bye for now, and I'll catch us on the next video very soon. Don't forget to subscribe, follow me, hit the bell. Okay, cheers for now. Bye.